Tamershi sent word. She said you can go. I'm sorry, Envoy. I don't have much more to say. You were responsible for all this death. But I hope you don't end up the same way, too. Safe travels to you.
We need to talk. You let a mad archmage unleash death with a spell. I need to know why. Is that our answer now? Do we extract that price from every settlement in the living lands?
What is the alternative? That we allow the dream scourge to spread unchecked?
I don't know. Maybe.
Fui tu meio. That choice shouldn't be in anyone's hands.
Then why did we leave it to that archmage?
Reengrim knows more about the Dream Scourge than we do, and we know more than most others do. She found a great solution, but it came with a great cost. What more could we expect?
Do you hear yourself? You both saw what kind of person she is. The twisted little world she built for herself. If ending the Dream Scourge means handing our fate to someone like her, then perhaps it's not worth the cost.
Kai, let's be honest. None of us are walking away from this with a clean conscience. But unless someone makes the tough decisions, the Dream Scourge will kill us all. Or worse. That means living with our nightmares. Embracing them if we must.
Right. Getting killed by monsters is one thing, but turning into one...
We stand here bickering while the solution is just over the horizon. Nothing matters but the garden. Shatterscarp, even Emerald Stair. They're distractions by comparison.
If we run into Ludwig out there, it's gonna be ugly.
Frankly, I'll take any opportunity we get to ruin Ludwig's day.
I'll say this much for the Inquisitor. She's stubborn, like a rat. And I plan on hunting her like a rat.
I'd say we shouldn't stay on her bad side, but I'm not sure she has any other sides.
You know her better than any of us. What's your read?
Indeed. And death is her strength and her weakness.
But you're saying there's a chance.
Well, the joke's on her in any case. Ludwig won't get very far without that map. She'll be scratching her skull.
Somehow, I don't think she'll let that stop her for long.
And Ludwig definitely strikes me as someone who doesn't leave food on her plate.
But will she do the same? I think not. Violence may be inevitable.
Ludwig and her steel garrote have the numbers and the power. But we have spunk and a map. And that might just be enough to find the garden before she does.
We're all competing for the same thing. A place we barely understand, with no guarantees of what we'll find there. Still, I am determined to reach the garden, above all else.
Ugh, that's just a pile of saka. Oh, now you're listening to me, all of a sack of sup sudden. You won't find a blessed a thing. This wild beetle chase of yours is a page raku waste of time. To get to the garden, you have to go through Galawain's tusks. The land is made of lava and acid. It wants to eat you alive.
So it's tough odds. We've gotten this far together.
Tough odds is an extra Zarb jumping in at the last minute. This is a long trek, on foot, through a land that can barely support life. I don't have to be a blessed a oracle to know this won't go how you think it will. I don't know, Nimdut. I do know whatever I come up with is better than do whatever the voice in my head tells me to do. I'm done here. Do whatever blessed planning you want to do. You don't need me for that.
Let's just take a breath, Marius. You don't mean that.
Nope. I said what I said. Come get me when it's time to go.
Poor Marius. Something's really rattled him.
I've never seen Marius like this. Something's going on with him, but I don't know what.
Be gentle with him. Or if not gentle, understanding.
Well, hopefully Marius will be okay soon. We have to get going if we want to get to the garden before Ludwig.
We won't get far unless we look after each other. Now's your chance. Can we talk a moment? I wanted to pick your brain about Shatterscarp. How much do you really know about Adra? Very good. We severed the Adra and Naku Kubel to slow down the Dream Scourge. But at what cost? Still, I wish we had better options. The souls of the dead who go looking for a passage to the beyond will have nowhere to go. They'll be lost in darkness. Some will find their way to an Adra pillar, far from Shatterscarp. But others could wander this land for centuries. A watcher, maybe. It's a shame we haven't got one. Try as we might to help others, we won't always succeed. Even the dead can suffer the consequences of our actions. I just wish the world and its problems would leave us alone. Even for a moment. Give us time to focus on our mission. Ourselves. No, I haven't. And yes, I should know better. A good night's rest would fix my head, but can't fix the world we live in. Maybe it's fine if they're both broken. While I have your ear, can I ask you one more question? Much appreciated. Something about Inquisitor Ludwig has been getting to me. She seemed eager to distinguish your Adiran loyalty from your nature as a godlike, as though the two are incompatible. She believes you can be loyal to your country or to your nature, but not both. Do you find that unusual? But what about you, her kinsman? When you rejected Ludwig's offer, she wasn't surprised. As though she saw it coming. Ludwig clearly respects you, but I don't believe she trusts you. Anyway, that just had me thinking. Could be nothing, or could be something. Time will tell. Get some rest. You deserve a nap. For that matter, so do I. I'll tell you whatever I know. I've heard the Wardens are very set in their ways, for better or worse. Usually the worse. Vidaro tried to form a trade agreement with the Council. Copper and glass in exchange for grain. But it went nowhere. They weren't interested in outside help. The Wardens value self-reliance, maybe because they have an inflated sense of their own importance. No offense, Marius.
No, you pretty much got it right.
They have a righteous duty to protect these lands, and believe that it can and should be done without the help of outsiders. It's a bit like shooting yourself in the foot because you don't trust anyone else to wield the gun. If I must. Katoa and Hayako. An interesting pair. Despite their clumsy methods, they were just defending their community. I'm grateful that you showed restraint. That is more understanding than most of your countrymen. I only bring it up because people are growing wary of your empire. With good reason. When they take their anger out on you, don't judge them too harshly. We all make mistakes. Anyway, just wanted to get that off my chest. Until next time.
Envoy, we need to discuss what you did in the ruins. I just hope we made the right decision. Those ruins are priceless, and I truly look forward to exploring them again in the future, but I don't know that I'll ever truly accept what we did. What I did. Usually I know the right answer. It's obvious. Here, though... I know. We've seen enough pain caused by the Dream Scourge. Things have been... unreal. We spoke to actual ancient Akedans in the ruins. I was able to ask questions and get answers. Perhaps you'll pick a better specialty next time. Most historians have only hoped to speak with past lives through animancy. I'll blow them all away with my next paper. But to go through the trials ourselves? Oh, could we be any luckier? Fascinating. I can't imagine what it was like to grow up a godlike with no god. I'm glad you got answers, sweetheart. Well, I have to start writing this all down before I forget. But do return if you think of any other juicy details. We've been traveling together for a little while. I just have to know. Did you purposefully choose such colorful company, or is that just what you attract naturally? I mean, I'm very clearly a delight, so it's obvious why you let me stick around. But Kai's hiding a lot behind that humor of his, isn't he? Thinking that could be Quilici in me is not something I want to think about. And Marius, I don't know what's lurking in him, but I do think he should speak to someone on it. If he reaches out, do try, will you? As for Giada, well, clearly Giada is a gem. As for me, well, I'm just as riveting as you, but the boys are giving me a run for my money. You've got the thorn of a secret god inside of you. I think your uniqueness goes without saying, my dear envoy. You do strike me as a people person. Tell me, do you get along with all you meet? So, you'll be swarmed by well-wishers then, upon arriving home? And here I thought I had a wild youth exploring ruins. You might be putting me to shame, dearie. Why do you think Quilici and I went to Naku Tedek in the first place? Of course, other lovers were less willing. Something about them being gross and terrifying. I just think it adds to the excitement. Well, you've satisfied my curiosity. You know, Envoy, we've traveled enough that I think I've gotten a handle on your style. Style of fighting, I mean. Your fashion sense is more opaque. But listening to your incantations, they could use some tightening up. I could probably teach you a thing or two, if you're up for it. What do you say? How about I show you a little bit of everything? What? Out of breath already? Talk to one of the boys. See if they can help with your stamina, dear. Well, I've taught you all I can. Let's hope you put it to good use. I've been trying to sort my thoughts since we left her domain. We met Ringrim. The Ringrim. Master illusionist of the Circle of Archmagi. And we impressed her? She even offered to make me her apprentice. You can always improve, especially when your teacher is an expert. It doesn't feel real, but it is. Oh, Handra's titties. What am I going to do? If I take the apprenticeship, I'll have to leave Quilici and Fior. And what about my study of the godless? I've spent my whole life with them. Oh, you even learned their proper name. I can't believe you listened. You'll make me cry at this rate. I'm not a kid anymore. I can't do everything all at once. There are only 26 hours in a day. I love my life as it is now. Exploring as I wish and coming home to open arms and a warm bed. I don't want to give that up. But this is something I never even dreamed of. But it's big. It won't leave room for much else. And I'm too old to... Oh, Envoy. What would you do? I know! That's the whole issue. I've learned magic through my own means, reading and studying on my own. How much more could I learn with her? And how much faster? Within a fortnight, I could rule the world.
Oh, gods. I'll stick with the secret sleeping god that whispers who knows what in our leader's head, thank you very much.
Thank you, dearie. I can't promise I'll act on it, but I really appreciate the advice. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to write a letter to Quilici. He'll never believe me.
I know what you're gonna say. Marius, you need to slow down. Think about your feelings. Well, I don't want to think about my feelings. So just let me be alone for a bit. It is. And it isn't. I'm not sure what it is, really. Just the thought of going back to Galawain's tusks makes my heart feel like it's going to explode. I sweat, my ears ring, I can't breathe. When it seems like we're really heading there, I feel like I'm dying. I guess a lot of things happened to me there. I grew up there in Solace. I left there on purpose. I understand not wanting to go back, but why can't I just thinking about it makes me feel ill. I need some time alone, Envoy. I need to get some rest. I'll be ready to go when the time comes.
Quiet, you! You can imprison our body.
Does this amuse you, seeing your kin caged like beasts?
No true kin would desert Solace. All we have are our oaths to Nandru, and you broke them.
So they're not just rude to outsiders, then.
The damn oaths again. You might as well be the one in chains. Our founder, Nandru, didn't intend for his people to starve. I'd bet you my kidneys he didn't build Solace Keep so we can die of starvation in it. No, he would have wanted us to live.
Honestly, I don't care anymore. I'm getting too hungry to even think.
What's going on here is Pargrunen business. Stay out of it, Outlander.
Yeah, don't need a blessed outsider pretending they know anything. Move along.
Can't imagine why you even set foot here. These are Pargrunen lands, last I checked.
Meaning mind your tongue and your judgment while you're here, outsider. These folk have done much to deserve their cages.
You won't find much at that old ruin, but I'm glad to see you go.
Follow the main road north and then east. You'll find some dirt paths to follow after you hit the cliffs. Now mind your business.
We've got company!
Oh, no, you don't!
Looks like the Beatles have settled in nicely.
I used to wonder if the stories about the tusks were just a trick to keep the rest of us out.
Can we finish here? Quickly, before I lose my lunch.
I will never complain about Maurice's laundry habits again.
Look out!
Show me what you got!
Beyond Seek! Beckworth and Rob!
On your left, dear! Away
Too
with you!
weak here.
Beyond Seek! Beyond Seek! Beyond Seek! Beyond Seek! Beyond Seek!
Check your ladder!
Beyond Seek!
Another down. Who's ready for more?
empty. Do you think they might have left behind snacks? They certainly left everything else.
A valley of lava. You do take us to the most interesting places.
Whoa there. See the marks? These are wagon
Another
tracks.
hunt. They all just died? What does it...
Wonder what the hunting is like in Hadir. Envoy's this, envoy's that. Don't see why that matters when we're so... Half of Shatter's guard died just like that, huh? May as well dig my own grave. Save some poor bastards the effort.
Radut, be reasonable. We can't live out here like this.
Listen, we're besieged by Mali and her outsiders. Ray still begs me to search for the missing Adiran merchant convoy, but we're stretched too thin even for that. I only ask you to hold on a bit longer until our replacement comes.
I will try. But this can't last.
What a large tower. Do you think the Watchers are compensating for something?
I wonder when we'll get back to the keep.
Why? Kostyu's really starting to raise a stink.
Everyone's saying?
Certainly the rumors must be wrong. Fjord couldn't have fallen.
Try to breathe. Please, stay with us.
Slumbering fields lies to the west. Last known place in the tusks.
Be careful, traveler. The tusks are friends to no one. Should you need help, I am happy to lend it. Are you by Nandru? Are you the Adiran envoy? I think I know already, but what brings you out here to the tusks?
Our garden, the one across the Sea of Acid? That's not what I was expecting. I would have bet good coin that you were here on a trade mission. Wait, you mean you don't know? We let an Adiran caravan through a few days ago. First caravan we ever let through from anywhere, actually. I've never known anything like it. They had so many wonderful things. Food, linens, medicine. They had a letter from your ambassador in Paradise, too. And when I saw you, well, you get the idea. Wishful thinking on my part. Gods, I'd love to see them roll by again. Yes, just a few nice words about wanting to reach out to us. Wanting to offer us nice meats and soft fabrics.
Better his letter than Ludwine's.
Anyway. I would. It might make the tasks bearable again, and we have a lot to give, you know. Rare ore, incredible metalworks. You wouldn't believe what we could do if we weren't fighting just to survive. Yes, our laws have always forbidden trade. Still do, technically. But the keep is split on that, and we needed the supplies, so we made an allowance. Well, actually, I'm worried about the caravan. It should have returned from Solace by now, but it hasn't. I don't play guessing games. They left along the main road. You can't miss it, really. Also, in the convoy there was a dwarven woman, Gilleen. I'd like very much to know she's okay. Yes, but what I'd like most is to just know she's safe. That's not the point. The point is her convoy is missing, and I just want to know everything's all right. It's not love, it's, well, maybe the start of love. Thank you, Envoy. I'll look forward to the good news.
Guess she doesn't meet many new people out here.
Best shot. Oh, big mistake.
Good fighting.
And roll.
TOC. Give me a target.
Make worth and roll.
That's like the Audra we encountered before. Well, you can grow glassy-eyed again if you touch it.
Make worth and roll.
Those tracks? They're not headed towards the
Those wagons have seen better days.
Whoever came through here, they headed east in a hurry. I'd say those footprints probably had something to do with it.
Nice! Is that all you got?
Well, if you insist. On your right, dear.
Come and get me!
Beyond seek. Attend.
Traveler, what business have you here with me?
That must be Lorraine's merchant. Looks like the ogre got to her first.
Well, what is it? You and I are talking. A rare luxury for one of my kind, I've found. Because they attacked me. Because now, you and I must talk. If you care for her life, we must talk. Because I need someone to listen. To simply listen before they lash out at me with fury and hate.
A creature wounded. It howls and beats its chest against its fate, and still kith hear cries of a monster. We understand.
Will you listen? I am ill. I am dying. But I am not beyond hope. Not if I can get a cure for my molder lung in time. You will. I am glad that... I apologize. My breath left me. Galeen said the caravan carried a book, one with a recipe that should cure my condition. Bring me the cure. When you do, I shall let Galeen go free. Yes, that's it. Follow its instructions. That should be enough to create a cure. Thank you, traveler. You may speak to Galeen if she can be of any use. We will be here waiting.
Please hurry. Just find whatever he needs and get me out of here. Sure, I don't really know this place, but I'll do anything I can. The Warden Tower. We sold them some. They should have plenty to spare. It grows on trees with red leaves, right? We passed a few of them on the road here. Try near the Warden Tower. That's done.
So you've come back. Have you brought what I require? Yes, I can work with all of this. Thank you, traveler. 1,000 times thank you. And you, dwarf, you may go. I free you of this place.
Thank you. I'm going back to the Warden Tower. Maybe I'll see you there. Thank you so much. I really mean that. Be well now. Both of you.
Thank you, Galeen. It is more, perhaps, than I deserve. I bid you leave me to my rest now, traveler. Allow me to gather my strength again in peace.
Lala could have learned a thing or two from this one.
Hopefully he'll remember how helpful we were next time we see him.
I hope the wardens let me set up shop in their tower.
Steel Garrote ahead.
As I live and breathe, the faithless envoy. Ludwig finds your loyalty a touch diminished. If you're looking for the Inquisitor, she's hunting a lead to the garden through its twisted silver roots. The tower calls, and it turns, and it calls, but for the roots we go, if not for the roots. The roots say your name, envoy. They say you told them to do it. I feel I can't think straight. Body's full of roots, pulling me. You did this, didn't you? The roots try to choke the Steel Garrote, and we will strangle them in return. Cut them, bleed them.
Oh dear. Be careful. He might be too far gone.
The roots come, and you'll be the death of the sun. Won't let you. Or stop you. Kill you! Die as the roots die. Die, traitor! Lay yourself down. Envoy, over here.
You asked for it! What's the light? Have that one!
Seek!
Everyone okay? That looks like a piece of the thing you were fiddling with at camp.
I like that trick a lot better before it led to all those trials in Naku Kubel. That island with the glowing tree, that's gotta be the garden. I don't see an easy way to get there, though. Let's look around. Maybe there's something in here.
We are close. Break the bars.
You sure do know how to show us the sight.
I don't think this broken bridge will help us. Didn't we read about another way into the garden, though? The other path is hidden well. I certainly don't see any way across the acid sea. Well, maybe the people in charge know what's going on. I doubt it, but it's worth a try. To Solace Keep! Let's try to get there before the steel garrote can cause trouble. Yes, let's go already!
me what you got!
Bill! Envoy, watch your left!
They could have traded with Thirdborn or Fior. Why struggle like this? What's the target?
Let's see what you got. Be on
Seems as though the dream surge made itself at home here.
Rawatayans love to boast about how barren and rugged our homeland is. But we've got nothing on the Pargrunan living here. I can't fault your optimism, but would you think that if this was the only landscape you ever saw, day in and day out? According to Marius, his people are forbidden from ever leaving the Tusks.
I did tell you that, didn't I? Must have been drunk.
I'm all for pulling together, but that's just oppressive.
Right. Our sacred duty. To talk nicely about the garden once in a while and spend the rest of our time bickering among ourselves.
I just don't understand how that could be so important. Ravatai has a similar problem. Between the constant storms and the rocky soil, the lands never supported us easily. So many of us find work as sailors and mercenaries. We explore the world as soldiers or as part of a trade mission. We venture out. We're encouraged to. Not everyone, of course, but Rawatai's hardly a dying country. Everyone in the Living Lands faces struggle, but people choose that, and usually to escape something worse. Forcing people into a lifetime of hardship for the sake of principle or tradition is a different matter entirely. We'll be covered in ash by morning.
We're on the precipice of something magical. You can feel it, can't you? The garden is within our grasp. All we need now is the courage and wisdom to brave the unknown. We'll find a way. We always do. Are you afraid of what's to come? I'm not judging, just curious. The bane of every academic. I believe, for the first time in ages, that I am not afraid. I used to care so much about discovery, invention, achievement. But deep down, I was afraid. Afraid that I wasn't living up to my potential. Of course you do. What blade cuts deeper than having unachievable standards for yourself? Since we met, everything I believed has been proven wrong. That the island can be controlled. That I alone can fix it. Even my parents. Gods. They really had no idea what they were doing. Just like me. They truly did. But I'm not going to repeat their mistakes. I'm so tired of being afraid. I need to accept my limitations or embrace them. Even if I'm wrong again, that's part of the journey. I have no idea where it leads. And for the first time, it's fine. Perfectly fine. Really? I wouldn't know what to do with that much encouragement. Glad I could get that off my chest. We have bigger problems to worry about, but I appreciate these little moments. You have an inquisitive mind. I respect that. If you ever feel your education is missing something, I'd be happy to teach you what I know. All you have to do is ask. Excellent. The Imperial Court taught you well, but I suspect there were gaps in what they call an education. If there's anything you've been dying to learn from an animancer, now is the time. Very well. Hold your questions to the end if you don't mind. Otherwise, I'll lose my train of thought. Now, let's begin. You, drifted off for a moment. Were you paying attention? Really? What's the last thing I said? Well, aren't you the clever one? No harm done, of course. I don't mind if you catch a few winks. Besides, a little nap is good for the soul. I slept through my share of lectures, and look how I turned out. That's all I have to teach you for now. I'll chime in if anything else comes to mind. Oh, yes. The little butterflies in my stomach are more restless than ever. When I joined you, I needed to put a stop to the dream scourge. So much has changed since then. There may be nothing for me in the garden. Nothing I haven't learned outside of it. But I still want to see it for myself. Don't get me wrong, I'm excited. The garden will be the discovery of a lifetime, even if I don't have an agenda. On a journey such as this, it's better to cast aside your expectations. They can only weigh you down. Ah, a simple question with a very complicated answer. The device is attuned to the spiritual energy of the living lands, much like a compass to magnetic north. But essence is chaotic by nature. As you saw with your own eyes, imposing order on chaos is not without risk. Indeed. Don't get me wrong, this invention is a small miracle, but it isn't enough. The phantasmal focus was supposed to be the start of something grand. One lever of a device that exists only in theory. Perhaps it should remain that way. That little island off of Dawnshore? None that I know of. Ignato Casto led the Valian trading company in the Deadfire archipelago. Among other things, he invested in the future of animancy, and apparently he had interests here. Anytime. Whether or not Casto succeeded, I don't think it's folly to dream. Not before I've done some reading.
Envoy? I'm not ready to go to Solace. Maybe there's another way. Maybe we can fashion some kind of flying boat? Fui tu meio, Envoy. I don't know. There's just so much. Right. Maybe it would. Thanks, Envoy. I feel this fear inside. This heart pounding, can't breathe. It's like I'm dying every time. I've been bit by core vipers, fallen into old spike pits, drank cure water from a Zarep shaman. And it never felt like this. It's as if the thought of being here, of returning home, is the deadliest thing I can imagine. And it's getting worse. I understand. Sometimes I just need a minute, that's all. I'll do what I can. You can rely on me. There is something that's bothering me. Specifically, if you can spare a moment. Since we entered the Tusks, I've been getting these flashes of memory. Like there are answers in my head I can't get to. They seem to be about a village, somewhere north of Solace. Fear and sorrow, but also answers. Thanks, Envoy. It might be nothing, but it'll be nice having backup whenever I go to find it. Anyway. Not before I've done some reading.
How could they? Beloved that you are, and still they bared their fangs. We blessed the Jabaru Sinakis, and they prick us in return. Blood on the wire. Roots like a wall. We only meant to protect. We thrashed against the blinding light to keep the Akita safe. We never wanted this. So many seedlings lost. We grieved, but we saved many. The burned queen. She hurt us, hurt our people. She did this. Yet still the branches swipe. We mourn, we could not be to blame. They should have shared our love. Their spite? This we could not foresee. But you are here. A green shoot after the fire. You would not raise your hand against us. Words like bile. This is not our way. Sleep now. Dream of golden poppies on the road ahead.
Gods. Anyone else finding it hard to breathe? Maybe we could send the wardens a message. Adherence here, fjord burned, solace now. What's next? Best Marius.
But just think of all the scenery we'd miss out on.
Welcome to Sorina's Mercy. Outsider. There's nothing for you to see here.
No, you gave the goods back. That's something else.
What's an ancient keep without a grimy torture chamber? Oh, gods. Makes me sick.
No rattling the bars.
Oh, thank the gods. Finally.
Renato here was selling our grave goods to traveling merchants. Don't let him tell about maps and causes. He's a common thief.
I admit I took a few things from Pargrunan memorials. And I admit the caravans paid me a good price for them. Expeditions have costs. Easy to pass judgment when your stomach is full. Sansa has no idea what the living lands are like. He sits in his emporium and thinks it's the Deadfire. Well, it's not. Every day out here is a matter of life and death.
We do fine without grave robbing.
I just needed to survive.
You can't just barge in and tell us what to do with our prisoners. How should I know? The wardens just left him here. Ha, fine. I'm not paid enough to handle legal debates. You're free to go.
About time. I owe you, whoever you are. Actually, wait, I can do better than that. Take my notes. Just do me a favor and don't tell Sansa where I've been. I'll come up with something. As soon as I've found a place to bathe.
It's Cosmine. Just let me handle this.
What? Marius? No. You must be a ghost. A curse.
Oh, that would be news to me.
You are alive. You. Asshole. You show your face now? Now?
Several times, but I hit more than I missed.
We used to be friends, or so I thought. But then this Jitule left, unannounced. No note, no nothing. Didn't even say goodbye to Iancu. And now you cozy up here, after 3 years, with an adherent godlike, no less? No offense. I can't allow that. You know the rules. Outsiders cannot enter without express permission of the council.
Or with an honored warden.
Which you are not. I shouldn't even be talking to either of you. It's forbidden. Why, you pencil-pushing, goat-kissing little bookworm! I ought to stab you for that!
Try it, and see how quickly I forget that we both grew up here. Do you think the Council will care about your promises when a Death Guard and her army turns Solace inside out?
Fuito, Marius. You've grown an edge since you left. I'll let you in, but be warned. Solace is not as it was, Marius.
I doubt it. Nothing really changes in Solace.
You'll see for yourself. The Council isn't what it was. Keep a watchful eye. Lower it on down. Quickly now.
All that for us.
Just be aware, people of Solace are just as stubborn as its walls. Try growing up with that volcano on the horizon. Learn early on, Elf.
If it's the new recruit playing games again...
All right. Took you long enough. Wait, you're not from the hunting party. Where's the hunting party? They were supposed to be here an hour ago. Idiots.
You have his markings. The council is going to lose its mind.
But Kostya says that Solace Keep is nothing but a crypt. We'll die in here.
I'm so tired of listening to you. Kostya this, Kostya that. Solace Keep protects us all. I don't want to hear another word.
An outlander.
Don't mean to be disrespectful, but we'd prefer not to deal with your kind.
What's wrong with talking to the Outlander, We need outside opinions. We need medicine. You're sick, Mother.
Pargrunen affairs are Pargrunen affairs. We don't speak of them to outsiders.
Even if it costs you your life, Mother? You'd rather die than ask for help from an outlander?
Kostya has a lot to answer for, poisoning our youth's minds with these ideas.
Once again, Outlander, we did not ask for your opinion. Leave us before we call for a warden's assistance.
Why won't you listen? If we don't change our ways, the Pargrunen are done for.
I don't want to hear another word of this.
An outlander. An outlander.
Why won't you listen? If we don't change our ways, the Pargrunen are done for.
Welcome back to Wodika's Nails, an outsider. Hi. Nobody told me to expect outsiders. Welcome to... something like that, yes. Apologies for staring. Do you have any questions about Sola's keep? I've never seen anyone quite like you, is all. No, that's not entirely true. All I'll say is, take a good look at the big statue of Nandru, this keep's founder, when you enter the main hall. A word of warning before you enter. You are the first outsiders to visit the keep in longer than I know. It is an honor to have you. Enjoy your visit to Sola's Keep.
The sanctuary of Nandru. Hasn't changed a bit.
It is carved from stone.
Wodika's crown, an outsider here.
Mikhaila understands
Outsider.
the importance of
Feel
tradition.
like helping us out?
Nandru chose this
great.
place for a reason.
Outsider. Fanny, what do you want? You need something?
Damn. Outsiders in the keep? Joffrey really must be shit at commanding the wardens if you got in. Marius? You're back? God's alive. I never thought I'd see you again.
Mina, is that you? Didn't recognize you with all that whiskey smell around you.
The whiskey helps me sleep. I've been working extra shifts without Petru here. Things would be a lot better if he was still in charge. Something must have happened to him. It's law in the keep that we don't ever leave Solace. Ever. Not unless we're on assignment at an outpost. Your friend Marius here is an example as to what happens if we do. Some people don't like that. Petru... he skirted the rules. Has some project out there. that abandoned warden tower. He usually goes out for a day or two, but always comes back. It's been weeks now, and nothing. I figure something must have happened to him. Who knows what's out there? Attacked by Zaribs, killed in a lava flow. I think so too. I'd love to look into it, but Joffrey won't spare any wardens. Look, I know it's not your business, but you're the only one who can go in and out of the keep. If you happen to go by the abandoned warden tower, just to the northwest of Solace, keep an eye out for him, all right? Even a clue as to where he is would help. Maybe I'd be able to convince Joffrey to send someone after him. Never thought I'd see an outsider do more for me than my own people. Thanks, Adiren.
Sometimes people just leave. He's probably drunk somewhere feeling bad about it.
Maybe we should open up for more trade. It didn't cost you.
Listen, everyone wants seconds, okay? You can get back in line or wait until next meal. Then go somewhere else and... Oh, you're the outsiders. I heard the rumors, but... I am the ringleader of the circus. No one does anything without a belly full of whatever we're warming up here today. Honestly, Marius here would catch something better than I could rustle up for you.
I just do what I do. You make last week's salt pork taste like this week's salt pork.
Take a compliment, Amakul. You're a good hunter. Always were. I have a little time to chat right now. What can I do for you?
You need something?
I have to bring this to the council's attention.
No, I couldn't possibly. It's too precious. Safe. In the drawer.
If I were gonna have a drink with one of the guys.
I hope you don't mind if I shout a bit. I feel like it's impossible to hear anything over all this banging and quenching. Indeed, they came down to tell us that we had outsiders about. I swore I misheard. I probably should have cleaned up the place.
Ready yourselves. Council's just up this lift.
Are they gonna throw us in the volcano if this goes badly?
Haven't seen petrol around.
Vodka, huh? Guess the program.
You must be the outsider I've heard so much about, yes? I am pleased to meet you.
Bolty? Is that you?
Marius? Won't the Commandant be surprised? What can I do for Solace's most fascinating guests?
Time has shown that the arms and armor of Sol's keep are unmatched in quality anywhere else in the living lands.
Never heard a speech full of such bluster.
It's not the content, but the interpretation that bothers me. An outsider! I've never seen someone so dull. I think his words and his breath combined.
I do hope no one sees me like... Who let you in here? What do you want? No, of course not. Who am I kidding? I must live, no, suffer in squalor now. Unfortunately, none of the merchants in the keep have things that live up to my tastes. But as long as Mihala continues to shun the rest of the lands, we must make do with an ever-shrinking supply of true goods.
Right. You might not want to get your hopes up on that one.
No one suffers as I do. Just leave me. Oh, and don't get anything dirty on your way out. Who let you in here? What do you want? Why am I in my own home? I think a better question is, why are you here? I must live, no, suffer in squalor now. Unfortunately, none of the merchants in the keep have things that live up to my tastes. But as long as Mihala continues to shun the rest of the lands, we must make do with an ever-shrinking supply of true goods. All the shops only have cheap goods. I deserve better than that. Just leave me. Oh, and don't get anything dirty on your way out.
This found a spider the size of my big.
Ah, the infamous Ediran envoy. I'd heard of your resemblance to our illustrious founder, but I'd hardly believe it if I weren't seeing it for myself. The monks tell us that Nandru had a special connection to the land, a sense for where to find things. I wonder if you share it. Ah, sharp as the tusks themselves. Our hunters can track beetles, birds, and boars, but do you know what the most elusive quarry in the tusks is? It's water, of course. And yet you'd never know it from the way the councillors fuss. It's all tradition, this, tradition that. Paradoxical, isn't it? The councillors would tell you this is our calling. Their detractors say it's our prison. Me, I'm just concerned about keeping us all alive. There's an old godless aqueduct system in slumbering fields far to the southwest. I sent a team to start repairs, but I haven't heard from them. Sent by the gods indeed. I'm not as superstitious as my compatriots, but your appearance and timing are more than a little fortunate. They were supposed to work on the section just north of the southern guard tower. You probably passed it when you entered the Tusks.
Outsiders in the halls now.
If we open our doors to Outlaw, we will talk about this later. We have a guest. What is the meaning of this? Who let them in here?
They're here because I vouched for them.
Marius, you're alive.
There were rumors you died, Marius. We mourned you. You shouldn't have returned.
I trust you came back to us for good reason. I doubt that. There isn't an inch of this land the Wardens do not patrol, day and night. If the Steel Garrote were here, we would know.
And if they are here, let them come. Solus has stood against worse threats for hundreds of years.
They destroyed a city full of animancers. If they come for Solace, even these ancient walls won't save you. If that's all you'll do, you might as well not do anything.
Although I wonder why we should bother trusting you. We heard that you were responsible for a great many deaths in Shatterscarp. Give me a reason to tolerate you for even a second longer. Indeed. But you've brought us news. Now I'm curious. What do you expect us to do for you? It sounds like you have something in mind. There is no path.
Nor has there been for hundreds of years. There was a bridge once, but it fell in Nandru's time. How do you know of our garden, Envoy?
The garden is our sacred purpose, its observation and protection, a task handed to us by Nandru himself. He once wrote that the island spoke to him, perhaps as it has spoken to you.
The Envoy does bear a remarkable resemblance to our founder, does he not?
The markings on your face, I recognized them. But I didn't want to believe an Adiran could have anything in common with Nandru. Enough. I know you Outlanders to be audacious, but claiming you read the lost journal of our founder, there are no words. If Nandru ever wrote such a thing, do you think the Pargrunen would forget it? Would the living archives misplace such an artifact? We did not lie to you. The bridge has fallen. The path is long gone.
If there is another way, Envoy, you will have to discover it yourself. But I fear you will be disappointed.
It has and always will be our duty to watch over the garden. Even if we knew of the potential of another path, we couldn't tell you. Your facial markings might be similar to Nandru's, but we will not change our ways for an accident of flesh and cartilage. You are an outsider and will remain one forever. The agent of an empire bent on destroying all that we have built. Envoy, you and those like you are why we are here. The Wardens exist to stand in your way.
However noble you may believe your purpose, it is yours alone.
It's mine, too.
You have no more standing in these halls than the Envoy does, Marius. We have no obligation, and indeed no inclination to help you. Good. Be sure of it.
Kostya, see the envoy out of our halls. Enough time has been wasted on inconsequential matters.
With all due haste, Mihala.
And Marius, don't stay gone so long next time.
If this is the kind of warm welcome I can expect, I can't wait to come back.
Follow me, envoy.
Right. I warned you they'd be useless. Or maybe I didn't, but I thought about it. You'd be better off tracking the Steel Garrote. At least they're not useless bureaucrats.
Politicians are alike everywhere, aren't they?
Envoy. I just wanted a word before you went on your way. I wanted to apologize for what happened in the council chamber. The situation here is desperate. We have more mouths than food. The old sicken, the young suffer. But Mihala, well, she's a devoted warden to her core. I think she'd rather we starve than ask for help. Of course. Our people starve and grow ill. And it's all because Mihala insists duty to the dead means more than the living. She won't let our people leave, or speak with outsiders, or trade for the resources we need. There is no reasoning with her. Anything that doesn't strictly serve our oath to Nandru is treason of the highest order. It's why I play my part where she can see. I don't want to risk her wrath. She's a zealot. She forgets that doctrine is worth less than living. Much like your Inquisitor Ludwig, I suspect. Two sides of the same miserable coin. Mihala has firm principles, and I respect the strength of them. But it's all so pointless. If we stay in this keep, we will surely die. Neither our oaths nor this keep will prevent our people from starving. Change must happen. We need to leave the keep. Do you understand me? The keep decays, and we drown in a rot. The wardens defend a corpse against that which would revive it. We will not last here much longer. Not without food, building materials, medical supplies. I let Nadiran trade caravans slip past our patrols, but that's hardly enough. We need so much more. All of which your ambassador in Paradise could provide. If I could only start the conversation. Information. You're looking for another path to the garden. I don't know if there is one, but I know who might. You were right, you know. The Steel Garrote are in the mines at Mount Forja, looking for the garden even as we speak. If they haven't found what you're looking for, they will soon. I hear their commander is a determined woman. Go then. Seek the Steel Garrote. Seek the garden. I want you to get what you want, envoy. My hope is that you don't kill the Inquisitor before I get what I want too. Of course. But need she be stopped by you? Now? In any case, the Steel Garrote are at the Mount Forja mines. To get there, head west across the primordial depths. Do as you will. I believe the Pargrunen and the Adirians can forge a mutually beneficial alliance. That will not happen if there is unnecessary bloodshed. Also, well, if you happen to head north, you might pass by the Living Archives, a monastery dedicated to preserving our history. The monastery hasn't been in touch in days, and I can't spare a warden to check on them. Oh, please, look in on them, if you can.
Right, I get it. He wants us to run his errands.
I do, Marius, because I trust you. And by extension, I trust the envoy. Is that so outrageous? You were missed here. Whatever the front I put forward may have led you to believe.
You have a funny way of showing it.
I wouldn't ask if it wasn't serious, envoy. It is definitely a possibility. The Living Archives contain centuries of knowledge. I wouldn't be surprised if there were clues to the garden's location in there somewhere. But I'm afraid I don't know for sure. They are to the north of Solace Keep, along the main road. And beware, if my warden's reports are accurate, there are a considerable number of Zaribs between here and there. Look for Elder Grigor at the Archives. He should be able to give you a full accounting. I pray nothing terrible has happened. Thank you for this, envoy. You are more than the villains your people are made out to be.
He's in a tough position, but I believe he's trying to do right by his people.
Sorry, Jude. Captain.
An outline.
What do you think? It means.
What do you think what means?
Love.